we really want DRYFT to be the most reliable machine out there. And the feedback we've had from customers is that the people using the machine, they absolutely love the product. You know, I was in Paris airport last week and speaking to the cleaning manager there, who's purchased 160 DRYFTs for cleaning across the airport. They've completely removed mopping from the site, and you know, he told me that in his 30+ year career, it's the first machine that 100% of the staff love the product. You know, so people are loving to use the machine. It's doing a brilliant job, and now we just need to make it as reliable as possible. So we're going to go through this webinar and let you know of all the technical updates. So one thing which we would like to set is a 24-hour up and running mission. You know, it's so important for DRYFT. If DRYFT is going to have success for many years in the future, we have to make sure that customers are happy. And to do this, we need you, our distribution partners, to help us with this. The ultimate goal is that if a machine breaks down, we all work together to get it up and running in 24 hours. Now, how do we do that? Well, firstly, we designed the machine to be self-service. So many of the repairs, maybe 8 out of 10 of the repairs, can be repaired by the end user if they are able to or if they want to. Designing the machine to be very easy to repair is one big step towards achieving the 24-hour mission. But obviously, there is some issues which require your service teams to perform the repair. So in order to do that, we highly recommend our distributors to stock the recommended spare parts. Now, here is an example of our price list, and we have added a column on here which is the recommended spare parts, because you know there's lots of spare parts on this price list which, to be honest, are most likely never going to go wrong. So there's no point in stocking those spares. But to make it easy for you, we have put on here the recommended spare part and also the percentage as well. So this helps you determine how much you need to keep in stock. But it's so important because, you know, if you're selling 10 machines, 100 machines, 500 machines, if your customers do experience a problem, we need to make sure that your service team can get it repaired straight away, you know, within 24 hours ideally. And if they have the parts in stock, then they can do that. The delays come when our distributors don't have the stock and then they do a warranty claim. There's obviously some delay in processing that warranty claim. Then we have to pack the parts, ship the parts, you have to receive them in, get them to your technician. That whole process can cause days of delay. And if you put yourself in the end user's shoes, you know, if the machine breaks down, they accept that machine's breakdown. But and if it's repaired within 24 hours, they will be super happy. And I'm sure they will want to buy many, many DRYFTs from you in the future. But, you know, if you leave them waiting for 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, well, you're going to have a very unhappy customer and they're going to have a very bad impression of DRYFT. And then you're going to seriously limit future sales of the product. So it's super, super important that we keep a stock of the recommended spare parts. This then allows the warranty claim process to run much faster. On our website, in the support section, we have the warranty claim section for distributors. So if you're using a part from your stock and you simply fill in the form, serial number 1, it needed a new handle, you know, you had it from your stock, you've already fitted it, the customer's happy, and then you select you just want a credit note from us. So we can then very quickly issue you a credit note and you can deduct that off your next order. So that really is the fastest, most streamlined method for handling warranty claims, and it's the best for the end user. It's the best for your customer. Okay, so on our website, we also have a dedicated support center, which has got lots of information. So I do recommend, making sure your team is aware of this. Also, your end user customers, because we've got lots of troubleshooting videos on there, information about servicing the machine, the warranty center. So lots of very useful information on there. We also have many videos on our YouTube channel. And when it comes to technical, if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see playlists. And under playlists, you'll see technical videos. So on there's very detailed videos talking through each part, what improvements have been made, if there's a difference in part codes, and also how to fit it as well. So, you can send these videos to the end user and say, oh, just watch this video. Can you change this handle? It's only 6 screws. And I'm sure 8 out of 10 customers will be like, oh yeah, that looks easy enough. We can change that ourselves. And then you can just ship the part to them. There's no need to send a technician in a vehicle driving for an hour, which obviously is adding a lot of costs to your business. Okay, so we can jump into the technical updates now. So that was just an overview of the whole process. And the first one was the head motor cable. So this has been the biggest issue for us as a company. Something else I just want to say as well is that as a manufacturer, we want to be completely open and transparent with our distributors and partners like yourselves, because I've had experience in the past where manufacturers have not admitted that there's known faults, and it doesn't help anybody, So we believe in being open and transparent with you. This is why throughout this presentation, we're showing you the exact percentage of warranty claims that we've been experiencing, so you can see how big an issue they are. The good news is that this was the biggest one. All of the other ones are very small percentages, like under 1% or just over 1%. And we have solutions to completely eliminate them in the future. But the cable was an issue in the beginning, which kind of slipped through our attention, really. So the original cable had this like mesh on the outside. And what we've done on here is identify which serial numbers are affected. So from serial numbers 0 up to 4,538 will have had the original head motor cable. Any machine after that number has got the new cable, which looks like this. So the new cable has got a smooth outer sheath, whereas the original cable has got like a mesh sheath. So this is a very, very high spec cable, which has been designed specifically for our machine. So the good news is that since we've been fitting this new cable, we've had zero warranty claims on it breaking. So yeah, unfortunately that one was a lot higher than we would have liked. It's sitting at 22.7%. But since May, all machines manufactured have been fitted with this new cable. So head motor cables is now an issue from the past. Okay, so the next one, and something just to make clear is that some of these issues come from if the machine's been dropped. Like if the machine's looked after and used normally, it's very, very unlikely that this will have had a breakage. But it's normally if the machine has had a drop, then this bracket, which screws onto the back of the machine and holds the components on, we've experienced some cracks down here. The reason we're bringing it to your attention is because what happens is in our company is that as soon as there's a failure of a product, of a component, even if it's from the machine being dropped or from abuse, we still look into it, like how can we improve it to make it not happen again in the future. So this part is a very low percentage. It was only 2.13% of crackages, and most of those will most likely be from when the machine's been dropped. But to completely eliminate this happening in the future, what we've done is we've added material around the screw bosses, and we've also added material here, which takes stress off this part because it was under a bit too much stress. And we've also changed the material, so it's a polypropylene, which is, it doesn't crack, it flexes. It's a more flexible polymer. This has been implemented since September last month already, so we don't expect any more issues on this component. So that was an update to the original one. I'm sure you're aware that there's a lot of restrictions on magnets in the world at the moment. China has basically 90% world supply on neodymium magnets, and we had a magnet in here for the clean water tank. So we are looking at solutions how to move away from magnets but still have the same nice features of the tank clicking on. So later this year, this will actually change to a clip, which is a stainless steel spring clip, and the tank will have an aluminium hook on there as well. So it will locate into the spring clip and lock on. It feels nicer for the user actually because it's more engaging. You can feel it click down and lock into place. There's also some weight saving as well. So the machine will be a little bit lighter weight because normally there's a big, thick metal bracket on here. And magnets are also very heavy as well. So weight savings and also avoiding any supply issues in the future. Okay, so this is a very extreme case, as you can see here, but the ball joint, if somebody's using quite aggressive chemicals, or if they've had a lot of dirt and contamination get into the ball joint, and this is probably the worst one I've ever seen, or what you can see on this image here, but because there's a grease lubricant on there, dirt and grit can contaminate it and then start to wear away the ball. So our solution to prolong the life of this is we've changed the coating, the finish on this ball joint. It now has what's called a hard anodized finish, which is 10 times more hard wearing than the previous finish. And because of this very hard wearing finish, it means that we can actually stop using grease on the ball joint. So it's now a dry joint, and we can do that because the socket is made from acetal, which is a special material for dry bearings. This is the same material from the beginning. It's always been acetal, which is a bearing material. But the fact that we're not using grease now means that the dirt can't mix into it, and it becomes like an abrasive paste, as you can see in the image. So we expect this to last much longer. One thing to look out for is that the the socket of the ball joint is a consumable part, and obviously when this is in use, it's constantly moving around. So it's a wear surface, and it has been designed to be very quick to change. Underneath the machine, you've just got 4 screws, and you can change the socket without having. It's literally a 2-minute repair. So users do need to keep an eye on the socket wear, because as you can see in these diagrams underneath, a new socket, these pins are perfectly round. They should be changed. This component should be changed when it wears to 50%, as we've tried to demonstrate here with this diagram. So if you let it wear any more than that, then there's a risk that the ball will come out of the socket. So if anybody's experienced the ball pulling out of the socket, it's because the pins have been left to wear too much. So yeah, if you change this before 50%, it's a very cheap, very quick repair. Whereas if you leave it where the ball comes out, there's a chance you could then damage the cable, and then you have a much more complicated repair, because then you need to change the cable as well as the socket. We are working on other solutions to prolong this, but that's going to be further down the line. It's, as long as it's maintained, and changed at the right time, then there won't be any issues. Okay, so yeah, we've also included on this document the original SKU and the new SKU. So there will be either a number or a letter after the SKU to identify the new version. New machines being manufactured since the 10th of this month already come with this new ball joint, okay? And you can see it claimed warranty repairs is a low % on the ball joint. It depends how much the customer's using it as well, because one thing which we have found out is that DRYFT is being used for many, many hours a day. Like, some of the customers I went to see in France, when we asked them how many hours are they using it, they were saying, well, they're using it solid between 3 to 6 hours every single day, because they've completely replaced mopping with DRYFT. 6 hours a day is extremely high usage. Normally, walk behind scrubber dryers may be used for 1 or 2 hours a day. So in effect, the machine's already nearly 3 years old. It's because it's been used so much. So some of these wear parts are going to wear faster, and the service technicians need to be aware of them and replace them. For example, if somebody's using the machine 6 hours a day, then really they should be changing this every 4 months to make sure it doesn't overwear. If you're using it 1 hour a day, you might get 12 months out of it. Okay. So one issue, again, it's a very low %, but we've had some machines where the metal pin is coming out on the headstand. And if it does come out, it can then lead to the headstand cracking, because there's no support inside. So to solve that, we are adding a small E-clip underneath, which you can see here, and that will stop the pin from sliding out. This has been implemented also from earlier this month as well. So new machines being manufactured have got this change, and we expect that to completely eliminate the issue. Okay, so the next one is the housings which go at the bottom of the machine, and both tanks sit onto these housings. So we've had a small number of these breaking, and it's still under 1% at the moment. And again, I think a lot of them come from if the machine's been dropped. But either way, you know, we want to make it stronger so that it doesn't happen in future. So what have we done then on these parts? We've added a lot of ribs to these bosses. You know, where the screw goes in, we call these screw bosses. And we've added lots of supporting ribs here to take the pressure off them and to give them extra support. We're also changing the material of this component as well, because it gets quite wet. Some polymers are affected more by water and chemical than others. So we're also changing this material. So yeah, at the moment, it's still a very low percent that there's a chance of them breaking. But coming next month, we're going to have the new improved version, and it'll be a new material as well. Yes, in fact, let me just quickly cover that. Yeah, so the component you can see on screen is actually this one. This is which the recovery tank sits on. And then this one is the solenoid pod housing. This is what the clean water tank sits on. So again, you can see here, this is the original. There was just the one rib supporting it, whereas now you've got lots of supporting ribs. I'm very confident that this new design is going to eliminate this issue from happening in the future. You can see the original SKU code and the new SKU has got the letter B after. Okay, so the next one is the upper handle. We received some claims of the upper handle breaking. Now, I'm sure that's from if somebody drops it against the wall or something like that. Obviously, it needs quite a big impact to break it. However, we want to see how we can completely eliminate that from happening. Even if you drop it against the wall, drop it on the floor, you know, the goal is to make it an indestructible handle. So there's a couple of changes that's been done on here. We've added lots of extra ribs in the places where we knew it was breaking. Obviously, many of our customers send back the broken parts. So our design team then examines exactly where they break. And then that allows us to add strengthening ribs in the areas that are needed. Also, we've changed the material on this. We've changed it to a pure polycarbonate, which is a very, very strong, high impact plastic. I'm super confident that this new handle will never break again. 3.9% on this one, but like I say, that it's really from the machine being dropped that would cause the breakage. But we're covering them under warranty anyway. So if anybody does experience a broken handle, even if they've dropped it, you know, we cover it under the warranty. And you can see the new SKU here with the B after. Okay, so the next one is the head cover. We had some of these bosses on the corner where the wheel goes on. We had some of these breaking. Now, how are they breaking? Well, the head is obviously being hit into walls and then running along the wall. So there's a lot of impact on the side of the machine on the wheels, and that impact is causing the screw boss to break in some cases. It's a very low percentage, you know, 0.6% out of the total machines that we've sold, but nevertheless we looked into how we can eliminate this from happening in future. So the solution is we're using a longer screw, because this blue part here is the wheel. That's the wheel which rotates on there. So the blue part is the rotating wheel. If you imagine if this is making the impact into the wall, so the pressure of the wheel is here, it's trying to snap it along here when it makes impact with the wall. And this is exactly where it was breaking. We were having them break here, below this part of the casing. And the reason is that the screw was only screwing into like this deep. So it was just there was no support here. It was just plastic there. So as soon as you had some impact, it could crack the plastic quite easily. So what we've done is we've used a longer screw, and we've also added lots of extra small ribs around here for support. We've tested this already, hitting it into a wall, as hard as anybody would do, and it doesn't break. It's impossible to break those because you've got a stainless steel spine bracing the impact point. So yes, this one's coming soon, later in the year, possibly December. But it's been a very low percentage, and it is from impact. Somebody treating the machine not so friendly. Okay, so the next one is the suction hose. We've had some hoses where a small hole has formed in the hose, and the reason is that as it's moving around constantly, it was rubbing on the headstand, where the headstand is. The hose was rubbing on there, and again, only in very high use cases where people have been using it over 3 hours a day, a small hole formed. So the solution is that we've added a hard polymer collar on here, which it will now rub on here, and it will prevent it from causing any hole or splitting the hose. So this is a very quick part to change. The end user can definitely change it themselves. It's literally a 1-minute job. 3% claim percentage at the minute. We're expecting this to come later in the year, probably December time. Okay. All right, so that actually covers all of the technical updates. We're just going to go through some new products now as well. But yeah, hopefully you can see that we've acted very quickly to rectify this. When we do make a change, we get parts in for warranty faster than we can get them into production. So it's important to make sure that you change your stock, and we send out a technical update document to let you know. So for example, once this is available in the new SKU, if you have stock of this, then please dispose of the old code, and we will replace your stock with the new version, and we'll do that free of charge. Because if one of your customers experienced a broken handle, we want you to go and fit the new upgraded part. The problem is that if you fit the old one and the customer has the same problem twice, well, then they get a very bad impression about the product if it's repeatedly the same problem. So it's very important to make sure that your component stock is always up to date with the latest improvements. So we've added some new squeegees to the range, and the new one, the uneven squeegee, it's 1.2 millimeters taller, and that makes a big difference on the drying performance if you've got uneven floors, if you've got texture, or if you've got grout lines. The drying performance of this squeegee is unbelievable on uneven floors. We've tested it against our nearest competitors, and I can safely say that DRYFT dries better than all of the nearest competitors. So If you've had any customers who have experienced bad drying results on DRYFT, then it's most likely because they're using the smooth floor squeegee on an uneven floor. So we now fit the uneven squeegee as standard on all machines, and we recommend this to be your default squeegee, which you supply for all floors. Really, the only time you need the smooth floor squeegee is if you're selling, let's say, to a hospital. They've got very flat, smooth vinyl floors or rubber floors, and they may find the uneven squeegee just a little bit harder to move around and a bit harder to do the S motion. So the smooth floor squeegee will dry a very flat, smooth floor perfectly. It will dry absolutely perfect drying results. And it'll just be that bit easier to move around. So we've really fine-tuned the squeegees on DRYFT because, we were really trying to get the height as low as possible, trying to make it as easy as possible to swing around to do the S motion. So, we've actually done lots of changes on the squeegees, which other manufacturers have not done in the past. And we've managed to fine tune it for different floors. And then we have both versions available in PrimaThane. So you only need PrimaThane if your customer is cleaning grease or oil, because if you pick up grease and oil with a Linatec squeegee, which is a natural rubber squeegee, it will go wavy because the material swells and it goes wavy, and then you completely lose drying performance. So the PrimaThane, same thing. We've got smooth floors for like very flat vinyl floors in kitchens or factories, and then we've got the uneven one for tiles, which you may find in fast food restaurants, greasy kitchens. So you only need to recommend those ones if the customer's got a lot of grease and oil on the floor. Okay, so we also have the new DRYFT case as well, which is in stock, and this has been really well received by end users. They like it for keeping the machine safe. They can store it in the cleaning cupboard safely, so nothing gets banged into it. It's got big wheels on the back, so they can transport the machine across the building to different areas very easily. If you've got mobile cleaning teams the cleaning teams are moving multiple sites a day, perfect to keep the machine in here, keeps it safe in the van or the car. Also, it's ideal for sales representatives as well, so you can keep the machine safe in the car, and it looks extremely professional when you walk into the customer's building and you have the machine in the DRYFT case. We have this in stock, so I would definitely recommend promoting that to your customers and also equipping the sales team. And what else are we working on? So we're working on lots of things. I can only tell you about a few of them. Lots of them are still confidential, top secret, as with all R&D teams. But one which should be coming reasonably soon is we're looking at a HEPA exhaust filter for the machine, which will be brilliant for healthcare. It will also reduce the noise level of the machine. And noise reduction is something that the design team is actually working on. So there's lots of things inside the vacuum motor pod which we're testing to try and reduce the noise of the machine. Obviously, in an ideal world, DRYFT would be silent. The more quiet it is, the better for the customer. So Drift at the moment, a bit like a Lamborghini. You've got the highest performance, but you know, it is a little bit loud at the moment, and there's lots of areas where we can definitely improve the noise. So that's coming soon. We're also working on DRYFT Intel, which will be a full telematics platform. You can very quickly and easily insert a small box and plug it into the PCB. You just remove 6 screws, take the casing off, and you can plug in the telematics board, put the cover back on, and then have access to the telematics. So yeah, this is something that's in development, but we will most likely be launching this fully at Interclean next year. But we may contact some of you to do some end user trials and do some testing before we launch it. So if you do have any customers who are interested in telematics, please let us know, and they can be the first to test it out. And some very exciting news as well. We're moving into a big new manufacturing facility within the next couple of weeks, and this is going to really allow us to up our game in the manufacturing and design. We can increase manufacturing output. We'll be able to deliver faster. We're going to have a big service and warranty center where you'll get even faster responses to any type of technical issues that you have. You know, we want to speed up shipping. We want to make sure that any warranty or parts orders are shipped next day. We're going to have big showroom, big training center. Everybody's welcome. You know, we would like to invite you all to come and see the new facility when it's up and running. Which should be, you know, we should be ready to start inviting you early next year. And you know, there's a great future. You know, we're growing the design team. We are designing lots of new products as well, which will all be powered from the DRYFT Core Ion click-in battery. So you will have seen recently as well that we changed the company name from Motor Scrubber to DRYFT World. That's been part of a long strategy. You know, DRYFT is our future-proof brand. It's the future of the company, and the Motor Scrubber product will continue with the backpack as the Motor Scrubber name, but those products will be converted over to the DRYFT Core Ion battery, and when they do, they will then fall under the DRYFT brand name. So yeah, you know, in the coming years, DRYFT will be many professional cleaning products, all powered by the DRYFT Core Ion click-in battery system. So it's exciting times ahead. So we're nearly at that hour, and there was one other thing I wanted to show you, because we've got a new promotional video, which I think would be a good way to end this webinar. So I'll say thank you for now. Thank you for joining the webinar. If you've got any questions, please reach out to your account manager, Sam, Luke, myself. We're here to help you. Also, Jack and Milena in warranty. If you've got any questions, please reach out, and I'll play this new promotional video, which we're going to send out this week. So let's get this out to all customers on everybody's websites. And thank you very much.
Your floors deserve better than a dirty mop. It's slow, it's streaky, and that bucket water, you're just spreading the mess. With intuitive controls and a lightweight design, DRYFT gets where others can't. DRYFT's performance is driven by its lightweight aluminium chassis and advanced digital motor technology, scrubbing at 4,200 RPM, power that's engineered for effortless results. Clean water is released exactly where it's needed. Every drop is optimized for maximum coverage. High-speed oscillation, combined with flat microblade fibers, penetrate deep into grout lines and textured surfaces. DRYFT's advanced vacuum system then removes moisture at the source, leaving floors clean and immediately dry. No matter where you're cleaning, DRYFT does it all, without the heavy lifting. The first thing you notice? It's smooth, powerful, and unbelievably fast. Narrow aisles, tight corners, DRYFT glides through it all. With magnetic color-coded pads, a quick change battery, and a tank that fills under any tap. Setup takes seconds because your time matters. Delivering faster cleaning with precision results. Whether you're cleaning retail floors, cafes, kitchens, or washrooms. From one end of the building to the other, DRYFT covers it all, with incredible results. With the world's lowest cleaning head, no space is out of reach. Powerful, capable, the new standard in floor care. DRYFT, from now.